Hi everyone, welcome. I'm really glad to see you. I'm very happy you could join me today. I'm putting together my leave-in hair conditioner. I've never shared this with anyone else, not because it's any big secret. I just thought, yeah, who else would want it? You know, it's just something that I use. It's a formulation that I learned from my mother that works for my kind of hair. When it's frizzy, this makes it unfrizzy. When the rain is coming and my hair sometimes goes in all directions, this is how I point it in the right direction. It really does help. But I want to break down the ingredients. There are a lot of them. It looks like a lot anyway, but let me explain it to you first of all. The things that are going to go into this will be mostly botanicals, but I want to break them down for you a bit so that you have a better idea. This is yellow dock root. This is actually some that I dug and dried this winter, so just recently. Good stuff. Yellow dock has a lot of benefits for the hair. It's fantastic in a conditioner anyway. It has several vitamins and minerals in it that emulate vitamin B12, as some of these other things do. There are chemicals you can buy, like D-L-panthenol, which is B12, but you can get it from these ingredients as well, in addition to several other vitamins and minerals and qualities that are very good for the hair. Bee pollen is fantastic. I love bee pollen, and I'm using a tool simply because I don't want to touch anything. I have everything sanitized here, and then we'll be moving forward putting it together. So I'm just going to kind of point things out here. This bee pollen is right here from Sulphur Springs, which is the next town. There's a beekeeper there where I get my bee pollen. Fenugreek seed, this is from my friend Tahir, who sent this from India, and these are fenugreek seeds that he himself has harvested. I'm really excited to use them. You can buy fenugreek seeds anywhere, online certainly, or any Indian grocery store. They're fantastic. I love them, and I love what they do for my hair. More the scalp than the hair. They really do help the scalp to retain moisture and to help prevent loss of hair when you're combing it and brushing it, because it adds more flexibility. Very, very nice. This is my own infusion of lavender and rose in a very light almond oil, and I love infusions. And the purpose of, why? The purpose of that is that it coats the hair and helps to act as a humectant. All of these ingredients together serve a purpose. And this is the yellow dock, the bee pollen, and the fenugreek here. That is my infusion. So I just wanted to show you what the ingredients are, but that's what this infusion is here, and again in almond oil, sweet almond oil. I just need to strain some of this before I add it. Here I have equal amounts of shea butter, cocoa butter, and mango butter. And here I have my emulsifying wax, which I'm using in this whether you want to call it a mask or a leave-in conditioner, that's really up to you. Those are just words. But I don't use very much emulsifying wax in this, just enough so that this all comes together, because if you don't, the oils and the water will not come together. They would separate. So you do need some sort of an emulsifier. So this is an organic, natural emulsifying wax, in addition to a bit of stearic acid, which really adds a lovely butteriness to this formula. And finally, here is just some plain almond oil. The purpose of this is because I just have to have the right amount of liquid oils to this to keep it a little more fluid, but quite frankly, this is a very thick, viscous formula, very much like a butter that you will have to spoon out for your hair, which I prefer that because of the type of hair I have. I don't want something real liquidy and messy. So I'm going to get these items melted down, and then we're going to put all this together. So give me just a moment here to prepare the space. So I have my oils and butters now on the double boiler here, getting those ready to melt down. So once they are melted down, then we're going to put this all together. I'm so excited to share this with you. All right, so now we're ready to blend our oils, our infusions, and our stearic acid to get everything all blended together with our water. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the blender and we're going to get started. So it started to thicken up now. I'm going to blend it just a bit more because I need to add in my rosemary essential oil for its beneficial properties, and I'll talk more about all of these different ingredients as I put this together. And I also have, with my rosemary essential oil, a bit of Germall Plus as a broad spectrum preservative. Now I'm going to let this rest for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we're going to come back and jar it up. Oh, this smells lovely. I love it. Now I'm pouring this while it's still pretty hot, because this gets very thick, and this is much cleaner to do it this way. Okay, I'll get some more here. So you may wonder why I use some of the things I used in this. So I thought I'd break it down a little more for you. The fenugreek is such a rich source of iron and proteins, which are really essential nutrients for your hair. It has active phytochemicals in it, specifically some flavonoids and saponins that have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties for the scalp. The dock is very high in antioxidants, and these are the phytochemicals that help fight oxidative damage to the scalp and to the hair follicles. The bee pollen is very high in vitamins and minerals, including the essential amino acids, vitamin B, C, E, and D, and over a dozen fatty acids that help to strengthen hair and reduce hair loss due to breakage, that sort of thing. I don't think it's going to help much with folks that have, diseases that cause hair loss, but certainly due to breakage or fallout due to, injury to the scalp, such as dandruff, those sort of things. This is where a lot of these kind of properties really come in handy to strengthen the scalp. And anyway, I'm babbling. Okay, give me just a moment here. I'm refilling again to get that last jar, and then I need to fill some more jars. Let's get this last jar here filled. There we go. All right, so these are the 8-ounce jars now that I'm filling. Those were the 4-ounce. I wanted to make this available. I don't know. This is something I have used for years. My hair is pretty darn strong because I think of using this. I do, because I know that a lot of the store-bought products that I've tried throughout my life, hoping to find something that I didn't have to make. I'm going to be honest with you. I did try to, I don't know why I put out so many of these jars. I didn't make enough to fill all of those. Not that it's inconvenient to make. I grow my own yellow dock. Unfortunately, it's not unfortunate. The fenugreek just doesn't come or grow easily here in our hemisphere. And our neighbors and friends in India are blessed with the kind of weather and soil and just all that goodness that make it the ideal atmosphere for growing this. So it's not something that I can get locally. But I'm just happy that things like the bee pollen, bee propolis, honey, are things that royal jelly are things I can get locally. So I'm happy about that. So it looks like I'm only going to get about, I splashed that one. It looks like I'm only going to get about 6 or 7 of these. That's in addition to the 20 of the 4-ounce jars. Okay, so this is me fresh out of the shower. My hair is still poofy even after the shower. So I have my Tame waves ready here, and I'm just going to scoop in and show you how I use it. All right, let me take my ring off. I take a blob, maybe even a bigger blob. Let me get some more here. About like that. For my volume of hair, it's not just the length of my hair, it's the thickness of it too, that I want to make sure that I cover every strand as best I can, and my hair is still pretty wet. And I try to get the back. Sorry I don't have more camera angles for you, but I'm just showing how I use it. And that's basically it. I don't do too much more to it, except now I let it dry. So I usually toss it back out of my face, and that's about it. And now we just wait for it to dry, and I'll try to take some pictures, or come back and do a little more video every few minutes. I'm not sure how to do that because it takes my hair, I let it naturally dry, so it can take about 2 hours for it to completely dry. During warmer weather, it dries much quicker, but it's cold right now, so it doesn't dry very quickly. But I'll be happy to show you what happens after just a bit of time. All right, so this is about an hour later. My hair is still pretty damp, but as you can see, the curls, the waves have started to form, and this is very wet, humid weather right now, and my hair is generally more prone to frizz outward when it's raining. Like in that first picture that I took. Sorry, I didn't realize I still had my glasses on. But I just wanted to show that this is what it's good for. Holding the curl in the hair, keeping it from becoming frizzy and fly away. I still wear a hat. I don't like my hair down in my face, and I prefer it shorter. I'm only growing it out now because I'm growing the hair for someone else. But believe me, I can hardly wait till when I get to get it cut. So as you can see, listen, I still look like a sheepdog. That's a given. But do you see how the curls are there, how the waves in my hair are there, rather than it being sort of just out like this? That is what the Tame Waves does, or Tame Waver? No. See, I'm getting tongue-tied here. The Wave Tamer. Wave Tame. Tame Waves. I forgot what I called my product, and I said it in the other room. Anyway, you know what it's called. But I just wanted to show, it's not that it does anything miraculous, perhaps looking at me, rather scary, right? Sorry, I had the light right on my face. But you can see how the hair, the waves are in place. Yeah, and that's because, I believe, because of those botanicals and the butters and stuff, that it doesn't keep it out of my hair. So one of my nieces left this here one day, and I never thought I would find myself doing this, but it's one way I keep it out of my face. And besides, no one's looking, except you. I hope you enjoyed this, everyone. If this sounds like something that might be helpful for you, I'll put it in the shop. If not, thank you so much for being here and watching. I hope you have a terrific day, everyone. I'll see you back soon. Goodbye.